Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please take your seats at this time as the program will begin momentarily.
Writing a research plan can be difficult. There are many different things to think of and address in such a plan. In this video, I will discuss how to write a research plan in more detail. Any research plan starts with a title, which is informative but not too long, followed by your name, department and institution, and your contact details. Next, include an abstract, typically 250 to 300 words, in which you explain what you propose to research, why it is important that it is researched, how you propose to carry out your research, what the expected outcomes are, and how they contribute to your research objective. You typically write this abstract after you've written the plan itself. The first real section is the introduction. This is where you really want to catch the reader's attention. In the introduction section, you explain the need and importance of your research. What do you want to research? And why is the research being carried out? And how will your research contribute towards answering or providing a solution for the problem, issue, or question of interest? In the literature section, you introduce and underpin the research you'll be doing by embedding it in the existing literature on the topic. You discuss what's already been done in the field, the main theories, the main debates and controversies, and discuss which methods or strategies have been used previously. Discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the different approaches. To conclude this literature section, show how your proposed research will fit in. How do you propose to build on, disprove or integrate the work of others? In the next section, Research Objective and Research Questions, you formalize the aim of your research by presenting your research objective. Your research objective is then followed by your main research question, any sub-research questions, and a short motivation on how they contribute to the research objective. This then brings you naturally into your research design and method section. In the conceptual model part of this section, you explain the theoretical framework and the conceptual model that you'll be using to conduct this research. What are the main variables included in your study and their presumed relation? In the methods part of this section, you outline the methods you will use and how you will apply them in the context of your research. The methods are in part linked to the studies you describe in your literature section and should aid you in answering your research questions and reaching your research objective. Therefore, when writing the methods section, think about which method will be most appropriate for answering your research questions. How and why will this method help you reach your research objective? In the experimental research setup part of this section, you discuss how you'll operationalize your chosen research method in an experiment or research setup. You typically explain how you will carry out your study by describing your study population and your data collection plan. How do you intend to sample the study population? Will you need ethical permission? This is of course all still at a higher order level. You are not designing the actual questionnaire or detailed test plan. Motivate your choices and don't forget to also pay attention to practicalities. There should be a comprehensive, well-argued section that explains why this is the most appropriate, valid and reliable approach to answering your research questions. It shouldn't just be a bullet list of methods. In the results and outcomes section, you detail the expected outcomes of your research. You outline the potential results of your study, explain how you expect your independent variables and dependent variables to behave with respect to each other based on your research design. What are the possible effects, influences, relationships and differences? What do you expect the potential results to be and why? Also, detail the projected outcomes of your research based on the results. What do the results mean for your research? How do they help answer your main research question and help you achieve your research objective? What will the relevance of your findings be? And what is the impact of your findings and results? Do you foresee any larger possible impacts of your proposed research? The next step is to include a planning of your research. In a planning, you must, at a reasonably high level, try to estimate the time required for each part of the research and any potential research constraints, and then fit that into a schedule. Note that some tasks in research will be concurrent and running in parallel. Therefore, make sure that your planning is realistic and contains iterations and interlinking of activities to show how activities may depend on each other. Provide explanations to motivate your planning. Typically, you should also include a Gantt chart showing any key review points, milestones and deliverables. When writing this section, keep in mind the logistics needed to carry out the work. Try and develop the intended work into work packages that can be incorporated into a schedule of work through a Gantt chart. For external funding, you often also have to provide a budget. Check with the funding agency and your finance department on how to create such a budget. Finish your plan with a short conclusion section. The conclusions regarding what you are proposing should be written in a precise, unique, clear and accurate manner. Always check if they are well supported by the work you presented in the research plan and check them against the main literature so that you can make a statement about the longer-term impact of your work on the body of knowledge. Lift the most important conclusions into the abstract and check that both are consistent, also with the introduction. Realize that the abstract, introduction and conclusion form the key point of entry and exit into your work and make a big impact on accessibility and getting across the relevance. Last but not least, your reference list. Ensure you use a consistent form of referencing and that your references are of high quality. If you use a reference management system, such as OneNote, Mendeley or BibTeX, do check each entry for completeness and correctness to avoid your reference list looking shabby. Before submitting, thoroughly proofread your work and do ask a colleague for feedback if you can. You want your plan to look good, and first impressions matter more than you think. After that, your research plan is ready for submission.